Get on home. Get on home. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Get on home.
To the Scattered Smothered Experiment. I'm your host, Bobby D, along here side with my co-host, Cliff. And
what's going on, people?
For real, it feels like such a long time since we've got to speak with you folks. We have a special guest in the studio tonight.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Devin. This is Baby Girl.
So, there's a lot going on around Atlanta this weekend. And
yes, there is.
I hope to be covering it. Turns out that there's going to be the annual NRA convention that's going to be housed at the Omni Theater / CNN Center in Atlanta. And a lot of people are planning on showing up for Trump's little deal there later on this week, Friday, as a matter of fact. He's going to be giving a speech. A lot of people are going to show up for what's called a die-in protest. I've never heard about this type of protest until today, after finding out that this was going on. And just like you see on your screen here, the people are going to play dead. And in the public walkways, I would assume. If they try, I don't suggest that they should try to do so in the street. They just they're trying to pass laws in Atlanta right now to where if people are blocking the roads during a protest or whatever, they will take them to jail for like obstruction. I don't know, like public nuisance or something of that nature.
Interrupting. I've heard of it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's become more common in places where you've seen things like the word domestic terrorism. As a matter of fact, whenever Mayor Kasim Reed, whenever he was talking about this particular law that they were trying to get passed, he constantly brought up that term, domestic terrorism. And then they're trying to drive this terminology home because they want They want us to become more familiar with that term. They want us to grab hold of that term. They're trying to program us into to believe in that our everyday brethren, their main goal is to cause division. Don't deny that whatsoever. But they want to make you feel like your neighbor, that guy next to you, is a terrorist because they spent the past 15 years, 17 years rather, no 16, my apologies. They spent the past 16 years trying to drill this word terrorist into your brain and associating that with everything that they can get their hands on. So for them to say domestic terrorism, they brought this other southern adjective into the language. It changes your mindset to think that it's that dude you know down the street. It's also being attached to people who like to protest, people who like to cover news outside of the mainstream media. That term domestic terrorism is becoming more and more common. And I expect there to be a huge turnout of this. I'm going to try my very damnedest to get to Atlanta tomorrow afternoon to see some of this. Now, this thing is going to kick off around 11 a.m. I don't think that's in the cards, really. But I have seen, we've all seen, these things take place for several hours at a time. I'm talking 8, 9, 10, even 11-hour long protest like what we've seen at the RNC and the DNC. Now, one thing that we seen in common with all of those was the fact that they were mostly paid protesters, those who are funded by George Soros. And I believe some of those groups, those same groups, will be in Atlanta. I did some research not too long ago and found ties to a lot of movements in the Atlanta activist groups to this group called Action Network. And they get funding from MoveOn.org, stuff like that. You know, those same titles that you see tied in with relationships with George Soros. I have no doubt in my mind. And when I found all this stuff out, I felt like my city, my town, was infested. It was infested. I was sick at my stomach.
Well, the entire country's infested with nothing but scum.
But I felt
worthless souls to society.
I felt better about Atlanta. I bragged about Atlanta on the air, talking about how, comparatively to all the major cities around the world, around the country, that they were the ones that weren't going to allow the infiltration to take place.
Well, you got to think this state is one of the first states, so it kind of makes sense.
You gotta speak up. I'm fairly certain I'm not gonna be able to hear you.
Yeah, most likely not. You got to think though, this is one of the first states in the country. For crying out loud, the Georgia God songs, for one thing, is here in Georgia. Of course, that's why it's also called the Georgia God songs, but
Right.
so it wouldn't make any sense why Atlanta or Georgia would be infested. Think about the major locations that are here in Atlanta.
I made that original assumption based on behavior that I've seen take place here. Now, yes, there's been a number of occasions. It was actually about this time last year when my channel was brand new. By the way, for those of you who watch the Whom It May channel, I appreciate all you guys. We just have seen, I believe, yesterday was my 1-year anniversary over there. If you guys didn't support me, then that would have been shut down a long time ago. I want to thank you very much for that. But one thing that we've seen in the early days, so it was around this time last year, was things like the anonymous protest that was supposed to take place in Atlanta, and it did get a little irate. People were wanting to march on the interstate, onto the interstate and stuff, and block traffic there. Atlanta City Police Department was not going to allow that to occur. They shut that down alongside of the Georgia State Patrol. And then there was an occasion at Hartsfield Jackson that got a little crazy. And as a matter of fact, that ties in the whole to Uber. Uber's now able to go into the areas around Hartsfield Jackson International Airport because of that specific event. So I wonder if they had so much to gain that maybe they might have had some kind of play there, that they were amping that up. The taxi services said they weren't going into that, but the Uber drivers, the Lyft drivers, all those guys were like, "Fuck it, I'll drive through it. I don't care."
Yeah, because they're not worried about running somebody over.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be like with them. It'd be only them getting sued if there's a run someone over. But if the taxi driver runs someone over, then it's going to be the city getting sued.
Right. Well, so outside of that protest, there's also the Philadelphia protest that's going to take place. Well, it's not a protest; it's a rally in support of breast cancer awareness. So there will be a die-in, sit-in, or a die-in rally, so to speak, in Philadelphia, where people will do the same thing that we've seen on the screen a while ago, but they will be doing so in support of breast cancer awareness. It's being put on by, hold on just a second, I'll get you the terminology for it. Where'd it go? What
What are we looking for?
My notes.
Oh.
Oh, this will be put on by MedUp, which is a group in Philadelphia that is all about metabolic breast cancer awareness, and so that will also occur Saturday. Now, Saturday there will be rallies in Atlanta outside of the protest that's supposed to take place tomorrow. So I plan on being there at those rallies, trying to cover those events in Atlanta on Saturday. And then also we have May Day on Monday. May Day.
What is May Day?
May Day is a nationwide protest day. Like I think it's been going on for the past 2 years.
Well, maybe we should take off Friday.
Tomorrow?
No, Monday.
I did actually.
You took Monday off?
Yeah, I'm taking the day off. I will be up there for that. I unfortunately didn't find out about this about Trump speaking at the NRA until too late, and then shortly after I found out about it is when you began to see this mass push.
Wait, so he was in Atlanta?
Who?
Trump.
No, he will be tomorrow.
Oh, fuck. Okay, that explains it.
That explains. Yeah, that's why this is.
Man.
This is I mean, you're talking about groups like RevCon.
What time is he supposed to be talking?
He's at 11 o'clock in the morning.
11 o'clock? Damn.
And then I think also
getting off an hour later.
Saturday he will be in, I think in Pittsburgh.
So that's too far of a drive.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I didn't say that. Just as if.
Well, you know how we normally do it. Yeah, we just jump in the car and go.
Right, but we're not doing that, Jack.
That's too far.
That takes a little bit more of.
It takes more than
planning.
a couple of days.
Right. Well, it takes more than a day. That's for sure. I think we could probably pull something like that off in a matter of a couple of days, but just that's out of my. I know I have full faith that there are other people out there that will be able to cover that event. And they'll do it justly. And so I don't think it's necessary. I don't think that's a necessary thing for us to do. However, when the stuff comes to Atlanta, we got to do a better job about getting out there and getting footage of this, hitting the streets.
That's the thing, though. We didn't know.
Well, we can only do what we can, and I've tried to make arrangements so I can get out there as soon as possible tomorrow, but that's just it, as soon as possible. And that's not. I don't know if that definitely is not going to be at the time that he will be speaking, which will probably be when we see the most activity there. Yeah. Well, who else was going to be there? Oh, by the way, this whole thing is going to be evidently the protest that's supposed to take place tomorrow in Atlanta is going to be headed up by Representative John Lewis, who has been in the news for the past 35 years. He's a huge activist. Probably he's been in the news longer than that. The man who marched with Martin Luther King Jr.
Damn, he's old.
Yeah, he's an old dude. But he will be heading up the march. Looks like Atlanta LGBT has thrown their hat into the mix as far as this goes. Again, these are all groups that I've seen associated with this Action Network. This Action Network, which is related to George Soros, MoveOn.org, and so forth and so on. Let's take a look at the chat. I know it didn't look like anybody was in there earlier, but wow.
No, nobody's showing up tonight.
Bare bones. You guys.
No, we got two. Well, why aren't y'all saying anything to us then?
They might not be from our neck of the woods, you know what I'm saying?
True. They could be from somewhere else.
So they could still talk.
That's just like with me being from Oxford.
Yeah.
There's no stuff that go on like this in Oxford. Like it's
that you know
just,
of.
No, there's really nothing. It's just a small town.
Well, I don't know. Birmingham sees it. It's not.
Well, Birmingham, yeah, but that's only like every now and then. It's not really as big as the stuff is in Atlanta.
Right. Well, see, I thought that things didn't happen so often in Atlanta until I began to see these names pop up.
You also got to think. Birmingham isn't the capital. Montgomery is.
Montgomery is. Now, they had a protest down in Auburn the other day.
Yeah, in Auburn they did.
What was that
I heard
about?
of that one.
That was Antifa, an Antifa situation. Do you know what Antifa is?
No.
Man, all right, dude. I'm doing a horrible. If you don't know what Antifa is, I'm not doing a good job. These people, it's revolution communists. These people who really just want they're extreme leftists, and they'd be pissed off at the fact that I call them that, but they really do. They do their best to physically. They want to shut people up who have an opinion that's different than theirs, which is, in all actuality, the definition of fascism. That's the true definition of fascism. It's just fucking hilarious that they were able to market the title anti-fascist as their little movement or whatever. Wow, excuse me and my weird mouth noises. But yeah, I appreciate you guys chiming in today. Cliff, you wanted to talk about a hiking trip that you're going on to.
Yeah, we're going on a hiking trip. We're planning. I'm definitely getting a map.
Yeah. Last time
you say that you will hike those. But
I was born and raised up there. I know that mountain.
I still feel like you should take a map.
Yeah.
I could take the trails from the top of the mountain and go all the way to my parents' house and still be able to turn back around and go a whole different trail back to the top.
Yeah, well, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm sorry.
I'd appreciate it
I'd
too.
rather be safe than sorry.
At
I
least-
understand that.
Right.
We might end up running up on a black bear.
You know, take
Yeah,
a map,
I really hope that I see a black bear.
take some toilet paper.
Mark some trees with it.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad
Well,
I was
every
just
time-
talking about wiping your ass.
Well, yeah. That is if you have to use the bathroom.
I mean,
Well, I got my camel pack, so
if you have the
water's all
option,
good.
if you have the option of not using leaves, then do so. I think that's
I
a,
wouldn't want to use leaves to begin with.
Why not?
Just,
if it's as long as it's not poison ivy, you'd be straight.
Exactly. Better than using a pine cone.
Better than using a
I
pine
would
cone
never
any day.
ever use a pine cone. Ever. That's, no, just, no.
Did you know back in the day? Did you know back in the day they used to use corn cobs?
Ew!
They would used to use corn cobs.
Yeah, that like after you got finished eating that night, your corn cob you kept
And you know what? It would just go right back on the cob like it had never been ate.
That's so
No!
That's so bad, Cliff.
Well, you gotta think
Ew,
it comes out the same way that it goes in.
And the husk off of the corn as well because it was still moist. Clean that off. And better than a pine cone.
Better than a pine cone.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as rough.
That's my slogan for the rest of all life.
Better than a pine cone.
Better than a pine cone.
I've heard of many things, but
That's wild, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
it's wild, ain't it, baby girl? Yeah.
it's all biodegradable. Anyway, I'd like to take a break real quick and have you guys go check out iCitizenNews.net. That's our friends. This is our friends.
Peoples.
Yeah, we contribute, or I contribute to iCitizenNews. Cliff's on the verge of it.
I'm just supporting.
We're just going to take a moment to take a look at some of the headlines that have been dropped on there tonight, or today. And yeah, let's wait for it to load up. So what's going on? New human rights laws proposed as okay.
Go back. I wanted to hear that.
I don't know
It
how to
probably
do
has
that.
little dots at the bottom.
Dots at the bottom.
No.
It's okay, we can go down here. If you look at this gray box over here to the right, that's where all the newest
Click on
headlines
that
are.
human right thing.
Yeah.
Because we should just simply have the human right to do as we please.
Well,
But we really don't.
let's see what it says. New human rights laws to prepare for advanced in neurotechnology that put the freedom of the mind at risk have been proposed in the open access journal Life Science Society and Policy. The author of the study suggests that 4 new human rights laws could emerge in the near future to protect against exploitation and loss of privacy. The 4 laws are the right of cognitive liberty, the right of mental privacy, the right to mental integrity, and the right to psychological continuity. Sorry. Marcelo Leinka, lead author of PhD student at the Institute of Biomedical Ethics at the University of Basel, said, "The mind is considered to be the last refuge of personal freedom and self-determination. But advances in neural engineering, brain imaging, and neurotechnology put the freedom of the mind at risk. Our proposed laws would give people the right to refuse coercive and sorry, I'm having a difficult time with your language. Give me a moment. neurotechnology, protect the privacy of
Change
data
language.
collected
Right.
by neurotechnology and protect the physical and psychological aspect of the mind from damage by the misuse of neurotechnology. All right, that's it. I'm chimed out. Can only do that for so long before that's all you can speak.
You sound like Grow Off Disturbed.
Oh, yes. Or
Just saying.
despicable me.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say, not disturb.
Yeah.
You were thinking about the band.
You were thinking about the band.
No, the song that's in it.
Oh,
Whatever the name of the song is.
I don't know what the name of the song is.
See? We're all in the same boat. We don't know the name.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
She's talking about
You've
the
never
guy
seen
from
Despicable
Despicable Me.
Yeah.
Okay, the song. Very, very bad, disturbed, stuff like that. However it goes. Yeah, that.
The character's taking a swing, isn't he? He's going back to the dark side, isn't he?
He's always been on the dark side.
No, he's been like soft and cuddly for a long time.
No.
Okay,
just-
only with the 3 girls that he adopted is he soft and cuddly with.
Yeah.
But other than that, the girls help him be a villain.
Well,
Yeah. Like that little girl, she's like,
It's so fluffy!
what? I'm so
The
off.
giant unicorn that she got. Like
She
after
just-
her little one got burnt up, and then she got a giant big one from a carnival,
and then
and
she
she
just
sat there. She goes, "It's so fluffy."
Oh,
she kind of sounded like Snitch.
Lilo and Stitch.
yeah. Okay, so what else have we got going on?
Last week was 420, and we had issues with audio and connection.
I think I've got that straightened out.
You think you got that straightened out?
Yes, I figured out after you and I ended this stream, I started a stream over on the Whom It May channel, and I believe I got it fixed because I didn't have any more issues. Now, granted, we weren't trying to hold the conversation on Hangouts, but I left the Hangouts open specifically to see what would happen. Like even though you had hung up, I had the window open to see if the window itself was the issue. But it turns out, I believe, it was the audio of upload speed, or whatever you want to call it. I pretend that I know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
This draws.
I'm just here.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
the girls just. Yeah.
So we do apologize for our absence the past couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago, it was his fault.
Yeah, it was my fault. I was just in my own little zone. I wasn't here.
We get to spend 1 hour with these people a week. 1 hour. We don't need to be spending it on the phone too.
Yeah.
You owe them an apology.
I am sorry, folks.
He's sorry.
Truly, I am very sorry.
You know what? If you don't believe him, let us know in the comment box down below.
Yeah.
I would appreciate that. I really would. Because I'll read them to him because he's not going to check up on it. But, yeah, and then the following week, like you were saying, we were having some connection issues. What the hell are you doing?
I'm just looking at the screen.
I seen that.
What
They
did he
seen
do?
that.
What did he do?
Did you see what it was like? I don't know. We should probably turn on the light. They can barely see you. The sun is about to go down. They can barely see me.
They can see me.
They can see you. You're the only one highlighted.
Yeah.
Well, she's.
She's glowing.
She's glowing.
She's an angel. A spoiled angel.
Spoiled one.
All right, we got some light now. We can see. Golly, tell you what.
Y'all want to hear somebody snort?
No. I will get baby girl on you.
She won't do nothing to me.
You want to make a bet on that one?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Uh-oh.
I will get baby girl on you.
Oh, no!
She won't do nothing to me.
You want to make a bet on that one?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Uh-oh. Thank you, Daddy Ellis. Ain't no telling how long that's been going on. We'll get it fixed very immediately. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be a fun 30 minutes of the show was in super echo. So, we'll get that straightened out. Okay, I think we should be good. Sorry for making you late. Wait.
Sounds really good.
All right.
Okay,
Yes,
really good.
success.
Sorry for making you late. Wait.
All right. Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, let's take a look at what's going on with the weather around the country.
What was with the random storm today?
Yeah, what was with that?
So, had an interesting experience with that. I got a message first, like right before this storm began, that that the Atlanta.
Radars were down. I got the same message.
Who did you get the message from?
A lady on Facebook.
Oh,
Probably the same one.
probably so. Thank you, lady on Facebook.
Yep.
You know who you are, and you watch us on a regular basis.
Thank you very much.
That was very strange. Very strange. So it apparently got pretty rough in this region. It came in from the south, tore through Southern Carroll County, Northern Heard County, and came on through.
It was only here for like an hour.
Yeah, it was
here at the house for like maybe 30 minutes. And then it was gone and it got all pretty outside.
We're right on the other side of the interstate at work.
right. That's
So as soon as it hit here, it hit there.
But not always.
not always, sir. I have experienced like a flood 4 miles down the road, and then here it didn't even rain. So I believe it can happen. Are you comfortable? You look comfortable. I've never seen anybody so comfortable.
You can pet her. She won't bite.
That's okay. She doesn't want me to do that either.
Oh, she never wants anyone to pet her. You just have to pet her.
See?
She looks frustrated with you, bro.
She probably is.
No, she don't.
Looks like we might be having some TV
You're putting
and
her to sleep.
phone outages across the country again.
Really?
Yet again. 5 minutes ago, a tornado warning, including Sherman County, Kansas. If you got family there, give them a call. Tell them to hide,
Stick their head between their legs.
whatever the case may be. Don't tell them to stick their head between their legs.
Don't tell them to hide either. Tell
Most
them to
people
get
aren't
in a
even that
hallway
flexible.
Where there's no windows.
Oh,
Tell them to get in the hallway where there's no windows.
Or a
Grab,
bathroom.
if you can,
Or
get
a
your hands
closet.
on a helmet and
Yeah, or
put
a
that
closet.
shit on.
and stick your head between your legs and kiss
No,
your
that's
ass
not
goodbye.
what you do. You either get in a hallway or a closet or a bathroom, and you sit there and you.
She's from the other side of the mountain.
You get into like almost a fetal position thingy, but you're just like on your hands and legs, and then you just like put your head up under your
And
hands.
that reminds me of a time where we saw two tornadoes coming right at us
Right.
from each end of us, and our cousin was just knocked out.
I slept through a hurricane.
Oh. How did you sleep through I mean, most hurricanes
This
I
is back
know
when
of.
I was younger. Now I just have problems sleeping. So.
Most hurricanes last like well over 8 hours.
Yeah, I used to be able to sleep from like 10 at night to 1 o'clock the next day, but I can't do that no more.
Wow, that's crazy. But thank you for chiming in to Be Free.
What's up, buddy?
I think we're. I don't want to just make up things to talk about at this point. I would rather it be a little bit more structured. Oftentimes, whenever we're just winging it, it doesn't hold as much fruit. And since we've covered all the topics that we wanted to talk about this evening, I think we should shut it down. What do you think?
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, that's good. Again, please go check out iCitizenNews.net. Also check out the SoundCloud.com/iCitizenNews. You can find this episode of the Scattered Smothered Experiment, along with episodes of 0 Hour with ImMikeRobertson, the Independent Press Project with Chico, and then Tech Talk with Erick M. And what else have we got? Underground World News featuring Dabu 7, and Into the Stars, and whoever else shows up for that particular evening. I appreciate you guys.
Should be an interesting weekend.
I'm gonna let you guys listen to some outro music. I really did like that song. Digging their style.
Get on home.
Y'all have a good night.